Welcome to Real Talk with Tina and Ann. I am Tina.
And I am Anne. And first of all, Tina, I'm going to cry. And I'm not kidding. I mean, for
Aw,
those who have joined our podcast in the last 5, 6 months, whatever, this is Tina. She
I'm
really
back.
does exist. This is Tina. This is the other half of this fantastic show. And she's just had some things. She's been super busy. She's on several radio stations. She's super famous, and she is
I'm
still
not.
here. But you are still here.
Yes,
It's proof because this is Thanksgiving episode. I am just so thankful for you.
I am
And
thankful for you as well. Thank you.
well, I'm very blessed. And when I knew we were going to do this show, I've been kind of giddy. So,
Aw, I'm excited too. It's going to be fantastic.
well, today's episode is a different kind of Thanksgiving. It is the Thanksgiving grounded in real gratitude, not the Hallmark kind, but the kind that sits next to grief at the dinner table, holds hands with it, and still manages to find light. This is when Thanksgiving changes shape. This year, I mean, I cannot believe it, Tina. This year, this Thanksgiving, this November 25th, which falls on a Tuesday, which is the exact way it was when my dad passed away 50 years ago.
I can't
50
believe it.
years. I mean, it is wild to think that I have been that long in my life without my dad. So every November, his memory sits at the table with me. And still, I find something to be thankful for, not because the pain is gone, because, love changes shape. Thanksgiving changes shape. I can always find something. This Thanksgiving does not look the same at our table this year. For us, we have a missing family member, and, it does make it a little different. It makes it hard, but still, I want to honor the memories that we do have and still find thankfulness in things that are different or hard.
Yeah, isn't that so truthful? I bet for so many and for myself included. Thanksgiving is one of my favorite times of the year, and it's a time where myself and my boys we intentionally focus on gratitude. But you're right, it's not the same this year, different for me too as
Mm,
well. My mom's Alzheimer's has progressed. We're in year 5 of this awful disease, and while it does continue to break my heart, it is this roller coaster ride. I am learning to find different things with my mom and my family to be grateful for. So we celebrate the little things because aren't those really the things that add up to the biggest things when it's all said and done? I feel like the
mm,
little things really add up. And so we
mhm,
celebrate when my mom can talk and it makes sense, when she verbally acknowledges who you are, when she smiles and when she says, I love you. There's just nothing that makes my heart happier. Because I miss her. I miss her
mhm,
voice. And so when I get to hear it like that, it's the best part of
mhm,
my day. So
mhm.
gratitude is not about pretending everything is okay. It's about noticing what still is.
Mm.
Sometimes it is being thankful for things we are given that we do not normally realize that we have, and being able to do the little things that maybe we take for granted.
Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. And I'm so glad. I mean, you every now and then will send me a little thing that's going on with you and your mom, or something that just really made your day, or something that you will just never forget. And I mean, that's just so beautiful because she is still in there. And I can remember a little conversation that we had, and it was just like, look in her eyes, she's still there. And
Yes.
yeah, I mean, it
You
is
see it, you
finding.
can feel it. It's almost indescribable because I'll be asked, does your mom remember who you are? Yes, she does. She may not
Mhm.
be able to say who I am, but I know she knows who I am.
Right. Right. And I'm just so thankful that she is right there with you and that you get to celebrate this Thanksgiving with her. The things that we need to be thankful for, most of them are abstract, because a lot of the things we don't have are some of those tangible things. We lose a person, or maybe we lose some of these things that we sit around the table and we often say that we're thankful for. But a lot of it doesn't have to do with the tangible. Regardless of what our table looks like, it is different. And when I was a kid, our Thanksgiving was full. I mean, we had so many people around the table, but families change, people pass, some drift or grow apart. But, that table still is. It still is. And traditions might shift. There's something sacred about showing up to that table every year, no matter what it looks like, no matter what our heart might look like that day.
Gosh, that is so good. I totally agree. I love that, Anne. You have to keep moving forward.
Mm.
What do they say? Movement is medicine. And I truly believe that. If you look at different religions and the like, you'll notice that they all have something in common, believe it or not, and it's thankfulness. That's at the center of all of it. Being thankful will help you see things that maybe you just couldn't before.
As Thanksgiving shifts, for me, it's about reflection. It is about remembering who we are, where we've come from, and what still keeps us going, regardless of pain, loss, and what is missing, maybe that year or from the table.
That's so good too. I was thinking as I was driving home from dropping my son off at school today that if we don't stop to remember, we will very likely forget. And
Mm,
there are some things you don't want to regret or forget. You want to be able to remember, but if you don't
yes.
stop to think about them, you will forget. So let's talk about what is gratitude. Gratitude is the type of thankfulness that is real and raw when life doesn't look like we planned, and so many of us feel that. When gratitude becomes less about the surface and more about what's true, sometimes the thing I'm thankful for isn't the joy itself, but the strength to still reach for it. It's resilience to keep showing up, focusing on the laughter instead in light of what's missing. So choosing, it is a
Yes,
choice.
it is a choice. Absolutely. Because I have been in situations in this last year where I could go down either way.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
I keep getting up and choosing to be a positive force, to follow that positive force. Because
Yes.
really, I mean, it drains us of all of our energy if we don't follow that path. It really does benefit. And it's being thankful while still feeling the loss because we can really hold both.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think life is about holding space for both. Finding joy, thankfulness, gratitude along the way will absolutely keep you going. You and I are living proof of that.
Mm, 100%. You and I have both been through so much this year, some good, some bad, some mixed, you know, but yeah, absolutely. And we can hold both. Being thankful for the people who shaped us is really important, for the lessons learned, for hard seasons, for those abstract things that I talked about earlier that we do not normally think about because when life feels in place, sometimes. We
Mhm.
are thankful for the most surface of things. I think it is when we lose things, when life is different, that is when we find out what we are really thankful for.
And truly, you are spot on with that. And I have thought some of those very things. It always brings me back to the little things that I'm thankful for. I mean, of course, at the
Mm,
top is my health, my family,
mhm.
my home, things that, might be like, yeah, cliche, but it is true. I mean, I'm full of so much gratitude, and we all can be. When you look back at the original meaning of Thanksgiving, it wasn't about perfection, it wasn't about feasts, it was about gratitude in survival. Didn't you find that interesting? Because
Yeah,
when you stop and think about that, we're talking pilgrims here,
Right, right.
and about coming together in shared humanity in harvest and in hope. The soul of Thanksgiving is a sacred pause to recognize life's fragile beauty and the ways we're held by both grace and one another.
It is so beautiful what it was originally. Before it was a national holiday, giving thanks, it was spiritual. And I think that we've really lost our way, a way to acknowledge harvest, land, and God. And it was about relationship with all those things. It was about pausing to honor what is sustaining, about being thankful for what is sustaining us, no matter what our circumstances. It is not about the food or the table setting. It is about being thankful for being carried through the seasons that almost broke us. It is about recognizing that love, faith, and connections are what keep us standing when life feels uncertain. And I can tell you that I've had many of those seasons this year. And I think many of us have.
I think you're so right. But you are the epitome of resilience, strength, Thanksgiving, and your name would be right next to it because what a year you've had. And then what a year you've had. Do you
Mm,
get what I'm saying?
yeah,
You
yeah.
have made the choices, and for your family to find joy in the hard things.
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's partly important. That's a really important thing that you just said because we're being watched. We're the
Yeah,
models of to the younger generations and how we handle things. And I think that that's so important that no matter what that we go whatever we go through, is that we are keeping that we keep going forward. We're forging through this path and we're showing them that they can do it too.
absolutely. Now, at its core, gratitude, you could say, is an act of rebellion against despair.
Hmm.
And it says, even here, I will see good. Gratitude changes everything. It turns what we have into enough. It shifts your mindset. You can have a tough year, a tough day, and still be grateful. So, most years, I do a gratitude group during November. And one of my posts from a year or so ago talked about auditing your adversity. So, not to emphasize the negative, but to change your mindset about it instead of
Hmm.
hoping to be rid of it, to sit with it, make peace with it, learn the art of overcoming. So I think it's important to note what obstacles we've faced and how we've either gotten past it or made friends with it. Don't you think?
I love, even here, I see good. I mean, I think I'm going to get that on and frame it and hang that up. Even here, I see good. That just speaks to my soul. It just
It's
makes me
good.
almost want to cry. I'm not, oh my, I could just live in this because of how profound it is. Here, even here, I see good. I always thought it was like this cliche thing when adults would say, yeah, well, I'm even thankful in the hard times.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I was young and I really didn't understand it. I thought, well, I mean, how could you be thankful in the hard times? Because I didn't always see it this way. I did not see the strength behind it. And with how much I feel that this year, I can tell you that what I feel behind those words of even here, I see the good. I feel the strength. I feel myself being carried. I feel a peace beyond understanding. And that's where true Thanksgiving is. That's the heart of it, to be thankful, even here. When the idea of Thanksgiving was popularized, especially through the 1863 proclamation by Abraham Lincoln during the Civil War, it wasn't about food or football. Could you imagine? Food. It wasn't about food or football. It was about a nation in pain, pausing to heal, to reflect on the blessings amid brokenness. I mean, stop to think about that for a minute. This is not at all how we see this holiday, at least not how I was raised to see it. And Lincoln called for gratitude in the midst of civil strife, which reminds us that Thanksgiving was meant to be a balm for division, a moment to remember who we are in a shared humanity when everything feels fractured.
It's almost like he's talking about the time we live in now in many
That's
ways.
exactly what I thought. I felt that because that
It's
is how it is now.
I feel like you just gave us so much to digest that we could stop the podcast here and just think in silence seriously for the rest of it, because it's 100% true. It's so good. So unfortunately, we have to move on. And although I want to keep talking, I want to keep thinking about what you just said. It was so good. But
Mm,
we're going to talk about gratitude going beyond circumstance. So it is saying thank you, not just for what we have, but for what we've made it through. It is the quiet kind of Thanksgiving that happens in the hospital rooms, at empty chairs where loved ones once sat, in the heart of someone who's simply still standing after a hard year. No matter how different our
mm,
Thanksgiving looks, it's about being thankful for what held us up. Elbert Hubbard said, I would rather be able to appreciate the things I cannot have than to have the things I'm not able to appreciate.
mm. Oh, that's so beautiful. Do you know, I spent a Thanksgiving in the hospital when I was a kid.
You
So
did.
I did. I mean, I even had hospital turkey and all that stuff because I had pneumonia.
Ah,
So I know. I mean, that it, I just thought of that. Yeah, talk about a crazy Thanksgiving, but
so how's
not
hospital turkey? Not quite as good as homemade.
mm, not it. No, I think I could have peeled open a can and just slapped it right on the plate. Yeah, with some, quickie mashed potatoes with some turkey gravy in the middle of it. Oh,
But you know
yeah,
what?
no.
Knowing you, I bet you were still thankful. I bet you were.
I was. I mean, I don't know why I'm built this way, but I just, somebody else just had said that to me recently, and about, oh, the last 6 months that you've had, I can't even imagine. And I just said, no, you know what? I'm good
Yeah,
because I really am.
you're amazing.
It really is about perspective, and I don't know. And I think it can be about choice, but it's just being thankful every morning when I wake up and just, dealing with the thing right in front of me instead of looking at the big picture. Sometimes, just if you look at the
One
really big
step.
picture of something, it can drown you.
Yeah.
So let's just focus on the step in front of us. I mean, it really makes a difference for me.
Oh, yeah. That's great advice.
Well, this year, maybe we can honor this by practicing truthful Thanksgiving. I was thinking about that, I mean, to have a truthful Thanksgiving, gratitude that coexists with empathy and understanding rather than erasing the suffering or whatever happened this year, but be honest about where we are and what emerged in the pain that we can be thankful for. I know for me, our table, like I said earlier, it looks different. And there is a part of me that didn't want to even think about having Thanksgiving this year. And it does hurt, but I will, because you know what? We also have to continue traditions, like I kind of touched on a little bit, and continue on and be thankful and hold on to those things that got us through for others, for the young, for those who want or need to see that even though or in spite of, we can still find things to be thankful for. I know for me, and this is crazy because I said that 50 years ago that my dad died, and I it was a Tuesday, the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and I was sitting downstairs watching TV, and I heard my aunts and my mom talking. They were planning the funeral while they were making Thanksgiving dinner. And that was so crazy to me. You want to talk about a mix. But with that said, I mean, I think it was their way of still providing tradition, still providing some normalcy in the midst of pain, trying to show the family that even though we were hurting, that we can still come to the table and give thanks. I mean, I really never thought about that until this episode, but it's really helped me to understand. what Thanksgiving is really supposed to be about. I'm going to go around the table this year and have an honest Thanksgiving, not fake. I'm going to be like, you know what? This really stinks. This hurts, but I'm still thankful. I'm going to say what's hurting, and then I'm going to say what I'm still thankful for.
I love that. And I'm stealing it. I think that's so beautiful. And I do think that it will help teach all of our children, even maybe adults, how to walk through life and keep going. Thanksgiving, we said this before, it's not about a meal. It is about choosing presence over plenty. It's about whispering thank you to life itself for breath, for lessons, for love, for resilience, even when our plates or hearts feel empty. It really is true. There is always something to be thankful for. If you're here, you still have purpose. Use it because life is now.
Mhm. To our listeners, maybe your house is full of laughter, or maybe this year feels quiet. We want you to know that your presence matters. You are a part of a bigger story.
If your heart is heavy, may gratitude be the thread that holds you together. And if you're missing someone, may their memory bring warmth, not just pain. If this year has been hard, may you still find joy in the small, quiet ways it shows up. It's gratitude that makes us joyful.
Hopefully, you can find grace in the middle of the mess. Maybe the person is not there, but being thankful for the love you have for them. Be thankful for the strength that is holding you up and for God that gives us the tools that we need in every situation. 50 years later, my dad is still not at the table, but his love is. And he is still in me. He still lives because, of my memories with him.
Isn't that the best part? Our memories we get to keep. That love doesn't go away. Thankfulness is in every story, every breath. Love doesn't die, it transforms. Gratitude helps us notice the pieces of love that are still here, still holding us, even when life looks different. Gratitude is simply the practice of catching those moments as they pass by. And it's how we stay connected to the love that shaped us.
This is what real Thanksgiving feels like, being held by something stronger than what hurt me. I mean, isn't that beautiful? Being held by something that's stronger than what actually hurt me.
I remember several years ago, and I remember exactly where I was. I was at a fall festival,
Mhm.
and I was in one of the hardest seasons that I had ever known at the time.
Mm,
And I remember being in the cornfield watching my son play, and something made me look down at my phone for some reason. And there was a quote there that was a piece of my healing puzzle at the
mhm,
time. I can't remember the author of the quote, but it was that premise of being held when you feel like you can't do it yourself. It was talking about really about God holding you, you know,
mhm.
when everything else seems to be, falling, going away, hurting, and you feel like you can't stand, it's He who is holding you up. And I can go right back to that moment and just thinking, oh my gosh, how much it healed me right then and there. You ever have a time where that happens? Just something so profound hits you that it changes everything.
I have the visual that I've carried with me in some of the worst times of my life when, there's four footprints and then there's two,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when he was
Yes.
carrying me. And I have held on to that many different times because if I, if I didn't believe in God and I didn't believe that there were times that he is actually holding me and carrying
Yes.
me through, I don't think that I would be able to make it. So, I mean, he is probably one of the biggest things that I am thankful for in a lot of the seasons.
Gratitude is not pretending that everything is okay. It's noticing what still is. And so, going back to some examples like you were talking about, For me, my thought pattern and gratitude might look something like this in the season that I'm in. My mom's memory is fading, but her eyes still light up. And that light is something I'm thankful for. Or gratitude isn't the absence of loss, it's the presence of love that remains. I've actually been thinking about that so
Mm,
much in
mm,
recent weeks. That particular aspect has really been on my heart.
I bet. Yeah, as I'm sure as you see things change with your mom, the more that you hold on to things like
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
So here's another quote. This year my table is different, but so am I. And maybe that's where gratitude actually begins.
I love that. I as you have me thinking about it, I mean, doesn't it begin with us? It is that choice. It's that choice to be grateful or not. And just like it takes more muscles to frown, I think that it
Mm,
takes more
I've-
courage to think about gratitude and be
mhm,
thankful when it's hard. It's
mhm.
easy to play victim, feel sad, and feel down. Not that you can't feel those ways, because you absolutely can and have a right to. I know in certain instances, but you also, for the sake of your well being and your family, need to pick yourself up too. How about, we're sharing a few quotes right now, and how about this one? Thankfulness grows quietly in the places life broke us. This one takes my breath away. I don't even know if I can finish it, actually. That's where we find what truly matters. Ooh,
Why did that one touch you so much? Where did it take you?
what broke me was my mom's disease. Of everything
Mm,
else I've been through in life, and I don't say that to feel sorry for me, losing my mom in the way that I've lost her, that ambiguous loss. She's still physically here, but not mentally. But thankfulness and gratitude have grown from that hard, messy place in ways I wouldn't have seen coming. It absolutely broke me, but it is also building me back up.
see, I mean, isn't that interesting that the hardest places are where we can grow?
Yeah,
It's like, yes, we are at the absolute worst time and we are hurting so much, and broken really is the only word that fits. And then it's like right there, a seed is planted that wasn't there before, not even, and it grows, and we're actually different and stronger.
absolutely. And if going back to the seed and the tree analogy, it's, you know, you have this seed and you stick it in the dirt where it's dark and it's cold, and you need that rain so that it can
Mm,
grow into something big and beautiful that provides shade, or it provides food for an animal. It provides
right.
shelter. But it has to grow out of that hard, messy, cold, dark place.
Hmm. And that's where we find what truly matters.
Yeah, it really is.
That's what this season has done for me, is that earlier I kind of said it, but in a way where when everything is perfect, you are just thankful for the food. You're just thankful for, what it could be, the most simplest things. And you just don't realize when you lose so much that it really is the things that are not seen
Yeah,
that
yeah.
really is what you're thankful for the most.
It really is. Grief and gratitude are not opposites, they are companions who teach us how to live with a softer heart. It's true. It really is true. If you think about it, if you've ever judged someone for how they handled something. And
Mhm.
then you went through it yourself. And it's one of those things like, wow, what an eye opener of I didn't know how to handle that, what they were going through, what I would do. But now here I am. And you get more
Mhm.
empathetic towards the people that maybe you looked at differently or down on or judged for whatever reason, because now you're going through it too and you didn't think it would happen to you. But that's reading that, that's what spoke to me. And I have a family member who could talk so much about that and how she's really lived with a softer heart because of where grief has taken her.
Grief has softened me. I used to live a lot. I lived behind a wall, and I no longer do that. The
Yeah,
wall
because
is
we're
not there.
real. We are real. That's why we named our podcast what we did.
Well, real gratitude is courageous, and it whispers thank you in the middle of the mess.
Mm, yeah, it does. Well, how about something you touched on earlier about traditions? Traditions don't keep us from hurting. We could look at it as they remind us why we keep showing up anyway.
Mhm. I tell myself all the time, just keep showing up. Keep
It
showing
matters.
up.
Yes, keep showing up. It matters. There's something to be said for, we may have mentioned this on one of the episodes before, but just think about it. When grief happens to you and it strikes, you do want the whole world to stop and just
You
pause for
do.
a moment. But
Yes.
just imagine this. If we all did that, we would only be paused for our whole entire life because everyone is hurting
Right.
at some point every single day. And
Right.
so there is some comfort knowing that we keep moving forward, keep showing up anyway. Yeah,
I
there's
have an
something
actual
powerful.
visual of one of the worst times of my life, and I was down on the floor because that's how bad I was hurting. That's how bad I was hurting. And I felt myself actually tell myself, get up. And of course I did,
Yeah,
because we can't stay
no.
down there. We
The
just
longer
can't.
you stay, the harder it is to get back up. I'm not saying don't have moments, but literally set a timer that you can feel this way for 5, 10 minutes, and then you have to get up. You have
Yeah.
to.
Gratitude becomes the bridge between what we've lost and what we have.
Mm, man, all I can see is that rainbow, the rainbow that we talk about when we lose our
Mm.
pets,
Hmm.
and how that bridge connects the living here, or maybe I should say the death here to the living in heaven. And that's a beautiful piece of imagery.
Yeah, it has really created a visual for me with that bridge.
Mm.
I love it.
Well, this has been such a heartwarming episode. I'm so glad for all of you joining us to hear it today, and I'm confident it's given you so much to think about. My mind is spinning right now. There's so much meat and potatoes while we're speaking of Thanksgiving that to chew on from this podcast. So from our table to yours, we wish you peace, comfort, and courage to be thankful for the real, for the different, for hope, for being able to give thanks even when you feel like you can't, I should say, just even when it's hard. Think of that. I can be grateful even when, and you fill in the blank, because it's the things that we don't see that sustain us. It gives us strength. It allows us to sit next to grief at the dinner table, hold hands with it, and still find that light. It's about embracing a Thanksgiving that is changing shape. One of the most transformative quotes of my whole entire life came when I was a college student and I was
Mm.
walking from one end of the campus to another. And on a church sign before I walked into the door, it was a hard season at this time too, but you look back and you're like, boy, I thought that was hard. Only I knew what was coming, right?
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
But at that time, there was a sign on a church billboard that said, "When you're fearful of change, think of the beauty of autumn." And it
Hmm.
completely changed the way I looked at change. And now I always see those beautiful colored leaves, which is one of my favorite things about the season of fall. And I'm learning the older I get to embrace change. So we want to thank you for listening. Embrace thankfulness this season. You will never regret it.
Just want to say before we finish that I just had this like epiphany. I When you were talking about fall, when we look at, there's always loss in fall. There's it, and it starts a brand new season. To me, when everything dies, or the leaves are all falling, everything is kind of withering after, so everything was so beautiful, because fall is one of the most beautiful times.
Mhm. It is.
And then we start the new season, we go through the cold, and then we go into, everything is blooming and blossoming and growing, and it's just beautiful. And then we go into another great beautiful summer, which is another great season. And then it happens again, and each time I think that God had this planned all along, to do this seasons thing with us, to give us these visuals of what it is like to go through life and go through these seasons. And every single time, guess what happens? There is another spring.
Because you grow. Hmm. You're
There
right.
is another one.
You grow and you change and you adapt and you overcome and you keep going. Yeah,
And
that's what we have to do.
the tree is taller.
Mhm.
The flowers are taller and more beautiful than the year before. And they just keep blossoming every single time. And I mean, yeah, there's weeds, and you have to get rid of those too. But
But isn't that life? Isn't
yeah,
that real
it
life?
it
You
is.
have to weed the bad, the part that's destroying your peace. And there's always going to be those weeds. You just got to keep yanking them out, tossing them, and watering what helps you feel peace, what makes you grow, what helps you to be the best version of yourself.
Mm. Tina and I decided to ask our kids some Thanksgiving questions, and this is what we got. Enjoy.
What is your favorite thing about Thanksgiving?
My favorite thing about Thanksgiving is being together with my family while eating at the dinner table.
If Thanksgiving had a mascot, what would it be?
A turkey.
What is the best food on the table, and what food should never be invited back?
Ham is the best food on the table, and stuffing should never be back.
Take it back. Stuffing is my favorite. If you could invite anyone in the world to our Thanksgiving dinner, who would it be and why?
Our family.
I love that. What does being thankful mean to you?
It means having things that you love or people that you love, and just reminding yourself that you're thankful for them.
What is something this year that made you feel proud of yourself?
Getting good grades in school.
What is something you wish adults understood about kids?
Understood the language that we speak.
That's a good one. What is something you used to think was hard, but now you're getting better at it?
I think I'm getting better at listening.
Really?
Yeah.
You're lying. Okay, well, let's hope. Anyway, what is your favorite family memory from this year? Something we did together as a family that you really, really enjoyed.
When we went to Tennessee for a baseball tournament, that we were with our family and our best friend's family.
I love that trip too. What is something our family does that makes you feel loved?
I love that our family gets to travel the country because of my baseball team.
That makes you feel loved?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When you feel sad or frustrated, what helps you to feel better?
Going in my room and doing something that I like, maybe looking at my sports cards.
What is something small that you're thankful for that most people might not think about?
The texts that me and my mom get to do in the morning.
What is one thing you miss about someone who is no longer with us this Thanksgiving?
Baby Ocean,
Why do you miss him?
because he never got to see the real world.
Yeah, and who is he?
He's our third brother.
What is your favorite thing about Thanksgiving?
I'd say my favorite thing about Thanksgiving is that I get to be with my family and my grandparents.
What's your favorite thing about Thanksgiving?
Eating turkey and having fun serving and I miss them so much.
If Thanksgiving had a mascot, what would it be?
A turkey.
What if Thanksgiving had a mascot, what would it be?
Pizza.
It'd be pizza. What is the best food on the table, and what food should you never invite back at Thanksgiving?
Chick-fil-A.
Is that what would be the best food on the table?
Yeah. Same Chick-fil-A. And what I would never want on the table, poop. Rotten broccoli off the table.
Wow, okay. If you could invite anyone in the world to our Thanksgiving dinner, who would it be and why?
Aaron and Maddie.
Why?
Because they're my friends and I just to play at their house.
If you can invite anyone in the world to our Thanksgiving dinner, who would it be and why?
Max. And because he just understands what I like to do. And one. And Davin and my whole family to invited too.
What does being thankful mean to you?
Being thankful means to me, if you get something that you weren't hoping for, just to be happy for it and just to be happy that you got something.
What does being thankful mean in your heart?
Being a good listener.
If you're thankful, what do you feel?
I feel kind and I feel loved.
What is something this year that made you feel proud of yourself?
I helped Mama out because she does a hard time, so I help her.
What is something this year that made you feel proud of yourself?
Getting all A's on my report card for quarter one.
Who is someone you are really thankful for and why?
Somebody I'm super thankful, people that I am thankful for are my mom and dad because they put everything aside just for me and my brothers. It doesn't matter what they're doing. If we need something, they always put down what they're working on and come to help us.
I love that. I love you so much.
Even much.
Who are you thankful for and why?
My friends, my whole family, and I really met Georgie and Cooper, and one more thing on my team.
What is something you used to think was hard, but now you're getting better at?
Getting good grades, better than getting rarely A's, and now I'm getting constant A's.
What about you? What is something you used to think was hard, but now you're getting better at?
Cleaning up, I did a hard time doing it without myself.
You're very good at that. Okay. What is something you wish adults understood about kids?
That kids sometimes need time to do what they want and maybe just let them be them sometimes, and you don't always have to be strict to be a good parent.
What about you? What is something that you wish adults like mommies and daddies understood about kids?
Because the kids are the listeners
Yes, okay.
and they're hopeful and they love their moms.
I love that. Okay, what is your favorite family memory from this year?
My family is so helpful, and I remind Dad and my brain clean up, help each other clean up. I would say all of the big breakfasts and us just having a good time eating a big breakfast.
What is something our family does that makes you feel loved?
Snuggling you and hugging you in bed. Snuggles before bedtime every night.
When you feel sad or frustrated, what helps you feel better?
Going up to my room, slamming the door and screaming in my pillow, and chatting with my mom.
When you get sad or frustrated, what helps you feel better?
I always have somebody behind my back who can love on me.
What is one thing you miss about someone who isn't with us this Thanksgiving? Dogs here.
Cooper and Georgie, I feel bad for them and I think, oh.
Those are our doggies who are in heaven. One thing you miss about someone who isn't with us this Thanksgiving?
Cooper and Georgie.
What have you learned this year about being brave?
It takes more than just not telling your brain that it's not going to be scary. It also takes more about believing it's not scary.
What have you learned this year about being brave?
And I know Monster don't real.
Okay, are you ready to be interviewed?
Yes. Is this actually the real interview?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So, I have one of my boys here, and I thought that we could talk about Thanksgiving and what it really means to him. Now, this particular son is 12, and I don't know what he's going to say. We're just winging this, huh?
yeah.
All right. So what does being thankful mean to you?
If a person is thankful to me, I always like it and I always do it back to them. And that's what makes me happy.
Well, what is your favorite thing about Thanksgiving?
Getting to have dinner with my family.
Okay. So, speaking of dinner, what is the best food on the table? What's your favorite food on the Thanksgiving table?
I would have to say mashed potatoes with corn.
Yeah, me too. The mashed potatoes have to have corn on it. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the way we eat it. And what food should never be invited to the Thanksgiving table? I can tell you what mine is.
What?
Stuffing. Never. I never want stuffing on the table at all. I don't like it. Is there a food on the Thanksgiving table or really in general that you just don't like? You don't want to see it on the table?
I would have to agree with the stuffing too.
If you could invite anyone in the world to our table at Thanksgiving, who would it be?
I would do a football player.
Okay, who would it be?
Can I use two?
Sure.
David Njoku and Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, why did you choose them?
Because those are my favorite players. Because I love playing football.
Who is someone that you are really thankful for and why?
My mom.
And why?
Because she gave us this shelter and gave us all of this technology and gave us food.
Oh, yeah, we got to put the technology in there, huh?
Yeah.
All the games. What is something small that you're thankful for that most people might not even think about?
That I'm glad I'm born this way and I'm glad I have a good family.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that we have you. What is one thing that you miss about someone who isn't with us this Thanksgiving?
Grandpa.
Oh, because he broke his arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. What does our family do that makes you feel safe?
Protect us.
That's a good one. If you could invent a new Thanksgiving thing that we do every single year, what would it be?
Go to a football game on Thanksgiving.
Ooh, okay, that does not surprise me. If thankfulness was a superpower, what would yours do? What would your superpower be?
It would be like flying, because all the time when I was like little, I always used to have a dream where I became Falcon, the one guy on Avengers,
Mm,
and I started flying and I started getting the hang of it
mm-hmm,
and a dream,
mm-hmm.
and I really liked it.
Now, you know we love Avengers.
Mhm.
If a turkey could talk, what do you think it would say about Thanksgiving?
Please don't kill me. Because people hunt turkeys.
Yeah, it's true. That's a good one. I think it would say that too. What's one silly thing that you're thankful for that makes you laugh?
My family, like, telling jokes and stuff and, like, being funny and, like, just chasing us around.
Yeah, we like to have fun.
Mhm.
What is something that you want to get better at next year that you want to work on?
Flag football.
Okay.
Um, Not being disrespectful to your parents or your teachers or any other people.
That's a good one. What is something that you are grateful for about yourself?
What?
About that you're kind.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that you're kind.
Mhm.
You're a very kind.
I'm
kid.
actually very kind to my, like, my little friends, like, kindergartners and second graders.
At school.
Like, yeah, and first graders.
So if you could tell the whole world one message about being thankful, what would you say?
Praying to God and making sure that He watches everybody to make sure they're safe.
What is one thing that you want people listening to remember this Thanksgiving? Your last words. What would you want them? What do you want to say?
I would say have a nice Thanksgiving and also be kind to each other and, like, or maybe pray with your family.
All right, that's good. Say happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Just I like how it does the vibrate.
Are you ready? Are you going to talk?
Meow.
This is my 9-year-old, and he wants to answer some questions. What is your favorite thing about Thanksgiving?
I would say the corn.
Corn. So you're going right to the food. Right to the food. You're not messing around. What
Or
corn?
going outside with, or playing football outside with
Playing
CJ.
football outside. Yes, that is so fun. So,
Well,
um,
last time I just did the practice thing with you. I was just faking to go tackle you. And you're like, yeah.
because I'm a scaredy cat.
Yeah.
So if Thanksgiving had a mascot, what would it be?
I would say, let's say the college Ohio State guy.
Oh, you like that guy? You want that to be. See, when I think of Thanksgiving mascot, I think of turkey. It should be a turkey.
A turkey head.
Mm. So, what is the best food on the table? I think you just answered that.
Corn.
You since you were a baby, one of the very first foods that you ate was corn on the cob, and you would just suck and suck on that.
What do you
Loved
mean?
it. You would. You just loved eating the corn. Corn on the cob. So, what is the worst food on a Thanksgiving table that you just don't even want to be there?
Oh, the worst.
That you don't like?
I would say, this is hard. I would say stuffing, even though I don't know what it is.
That's stuff that comes out of the bird. Okay, so what's your favorite dessert that you want at Thanksgiving?
The Cookie Monster with a mix of mint chocolate chip with sprinkles and hard shell and chocolate syrup.
So you went right for the ice cream. Okay. So if you could invite anybody to our Thanksgiving table, it could be anybody in the whole world, what would it be? Who would it be?
Mimi.
Mimi. Oh, because she's no longer here. She passed away. That would be wonderful to have Mimi at the table. She would love to be here with us. What does being thankful?
Wait, I have one more.
Oh, well, who else?
Who else would be Lamar Jackson, Cristiano Ronaldo, or my old friend Isabella?
Aw, yeah. Who is someone that you are really thankful for?
You already know the answer that it would be you, Carrie, and Carrie.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you are thankful for us. We're thankful for you too. Here's another one. What is something this year that made you feel proud of yourself?
Being good at stuff.
What is your favorite family memory that we did this year?
Let's say watching the new Wicked for Good movie.
Oh, that was so good.
It was.
Yeah, I think it was one of my favorite things this year too. If you could invent a new family thing that we do every single year, what would it be?
Going to a new country.
You would want to do that every year? I would like to go to the Macy's parade. What's one silly thing you're thankful for that makes you laugh?
Watching the dog die.
Yeah, we have so much fun on TikTok watching videos before we go to sleep.
Laughing hysterically.
Yeah, we laugh and laugh way longer than we should because we should be sleeping. But we always find the really funny TikToks right before we go to sleep. And it's not fair that those are the ones that come up.
Yeah, and plus, remember this one, Mama?
Yeah.
Where the one's in her car, she just goes,
Yeah. She is very funny. What does it mean to you when people say that Thanksgiving is about more than just food?
well, then I would think either about the first Thanksgiving in history,
Yeah, go ahead.
or I would think when Jesus split the bread and everything for like hundreds of people.
Yeah, that's kind of like one of the very first Thanksgiving in a way. I would think so. They were very thankful that they got those loaves and fishes and different things, and he made the food spread through a lot of people, huh? So, what's your favorite thing about your family?
CJ, Mama, Carrie, Sarah.
What is a message that you can give everybody?
Happy
I'll try to-
Thanksgiving.
I mean, this was so beautiful, Tina. I just
I
love this
agree.
episode.
You could talk, I could talk about gratitude probably for days on end.
Well, yeah, you are the gratitude person. And I love that about you. But we do have to finish the episode. So, as we always say, there is purpose in the pain and there is hope in the journey. And Tina will be back again.
Oh, you
and
got it.
We will see you next time.
Happy Thanksgiving.